Well, hello there. My name is Stu McLaren and I'm here in Kenya. We're actually on a safari as part of a donor trip that my wife and I run for our charity. And what I want to share with you is that every morning we've been out on a game drive. And every morning there are a whole bunch of animals that are hunting for their breakfast. Hyenas, lions, cheetahs, all kinds of things that we saw this morning. And it reminds me so much of how most people run their business. You know, most people run their business where every day they wake up and they got to go hunt for their food. You know, they've got to go find new customers. That kind of business model, it's hard. It's really taxing. It's really stressful. And you see the stress on the animals in the morning, like everybody's on high alert, right? Well, it's the same thing in a business. If you don't have stable, reliable revenue stream, you're always going to be on high alert trying to find, you know, the next customer. In fact, this morning, I got an email from a gentleman by the name of Alexander. And he said to me, he's like, you know, Stu, I've got an audience and I've beta tested. I had an idea for a membership site and I beta tested it. I said, hey, I'm looking for a small group of people. And he launched it with a private Facebook group, which is, by the way, one of the fastest ways to launch a paid membership. We'll talk about that in a minute. But he launched this beta group and he's got, I think, twice as many people as he initially wanted. I think he wanted 10 and he's got now 35. So almost 3 times as many, more than 3 times. But now he in the email, he said, what do I do next? What do I do? How do I serve these people? And this is a big problem I see a lot of people who've got an audience that an audience who likes them, who shows up every day and consumes their content, but they don't know how to build a business around that audience. Here's what I can tell you. It all starts with identifying their need. If you know what your audience is needed, then from there, you can create products, you can serve them in a membership site, you can do a whole bunch of things. But you've got to start by identifying their needs. If you don't identify their needs, well, then you're always going to be lost. Then you're never going to know how you can best serve them. You know, when I think about like the membership sites that last the longest, the ones that survive, these are the membership sites where they have gotten real clear on the needs of their market, and then they just continue to serve those needs. You know, and so you and I, when it comes to identifying products that we want to create, when we want to build our business, the number one thing that we can do, or that we should start to do, is just identify the need. And so whether you are an expert and you've already got an area of expertise, great. But even if you're not an expert, there are many people who have built highly successful businesses that all they have done is just identify a need. Like one of the ones that just comes to my mind is a membership site called Teen Life Ministries by my friend Paul Evans. Now what Paul did was he identified that youth ministers have a real need. One of their needs is that every Sunday they need to deliver some type of service. And so they got to come up with content for that service. And the challenge is, where did that content come from? These are busy people. So what Paul did was he created a membership site that caters to that market by coming up with the content for them. So every week he delivers a package of content that serves that market by delivering a service that those youth ministers can deliver on a Sunday. Super easy. He identified the need, number one, and number two, he fulfilled that need and continues to fulfill it every single week. That's why his membership site is so successful. So if you're ever stuck on what you need to do next, always go back to what are the needs of my audience. If you know your need, if you know their needs and you know them clearly and super well, then creating products and services and membership sites and all that kind of stuff is super simple. Now, and in just a very short period of time, August 18th, in fact, I'm going to be delivering a free workshop. You can find out more by going to tribeworkshop.com. And in that workshop, in the very first part of that series, I'm going to be delivering a whole big lesson on how to identify whether your market is actually a good market for a membership site. And we're going to talk about 3 particular things that impact the viability of a market for a membership site. And so I recommend you go to tribeworkshop.com. It's absolutely free workshop. We're going to start August 18th. And then in the second one, I'm actually going to be helping Alexander because in that particular part, I'm going to be going deep on content. Like, how do you actually serve an audience? Like, once you've identified their needs, how do you create content that continues to serve them month after month after month. It's going to be a great series. Then the third part of that series, I'm actually going to outline the entire blueprint for a successful recurring membership. So if you're an expert who's got an area of expertise and you really want to build a business around that, or you've got an audience that you have great influence over and you want to build a business around that, I highly recommend you come join us at tribeworkshop.com, because I'm going to be outlining exactly how you can turn both your expertise